Up guys, it's gone, and today we'll be talking about some fantasy baseball pitchers that are being massively underdrafted right now. I recently posted a hitters version of this one, so if you guys haven't seen that one, go check it out. The link will be posted in the description below. Anyways, as I said in the last video, the season is quickly approaching, and I don't think with the shortened spring training that many fans are actually in baseball mode going into their fantasy drafts. This channel is the home to all fantasy tips that you'll need to be prepared going into your draft. Subscribe and hit that bell button so you'll be notified when a new video like this one comes out. My plan for the next couple of videos is to do a positional rundown of sorts, where we go into depth about every position and the overall plan of what to do. Now, before we get on to the video, could you guys please hit the subscribe and like button? Currently, only 6% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but it would also encourage me to create more videos like this one for you guys. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. First up, we have Eduardo Rodriguez, who is a projected 16th round pick and the 55th best starting pitcher overall. While stats such as ERA, opponent's batting average, and opponent's slugging percentage paint him in a bad light, expected stats, where the only measurement is exit velocity and launch angle, paint him in a different light. In fact, he led the league in the difference between his expected quality of contact based off launch angle and exit velocity compared to his actual quality of contact. This has massive effects for what his stats turned out to be compared to what they should have been. For example, while his actual ERA was an abysmal 4.74, his expected ERA was a more passable 3.47. The fact that the Detroit Tigers signed Eduardo this offseason to a 5-year contract for $77 million, despite having an ERA above 4.5, shows you that he was just one of the most unlucky pitchers this season. This year, you can expect to see a regression to the mean of sorts, and Eduardo should produce stats that show him to be a high-end starting pitcher too, for only a 16th round pick. Next up, we have my favorite sleeper in Chris Flexen, a starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. I really don't understand this ranking here by ESPN. He's projected to be the 56th best starting pitcher and a 17th round pick, when I see him with a ceiling as high as a low-end starting pitcher one. With the Mets, he was a young starting pitcher that was plagued with control issues until he was eventually outright released in 2019. However, once he came to the Mariners, something just clicked and he started pitching like an ace. He limited his walks per nine from 7 to 2, and his ERA is a reflection of that, posting a sparkling 3.6 ERA in 2021. Could we see some regression to the mean for Chris Flexen? Maybe, but I think it was a mechanical change that he made with the Mariners rather than him just getting lucky over and over again. Furthermore, the Mariners lineup is projected to be an exciting one, so hopefully Chris gets some run support and wins. I do see some risk in 2021 could be a fluke, but with a late round pick, I really don't see how that could be an issue with his current ADP. Next up, we have young Jin Ryu, and this is a weird case because all advanced metrics say that Ryu actually got lucky despite having a poor season. However, I'm still having Ryu on this list if he's on the board as a projected 17th round pick. Although last year was a down year for Ryu, it could be chalked up to playing in one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in Buffalo for half the year. You have to remember that it was a mere season ago that Ryu was one of the top 20 starting pitchers and a first 7th round pick, strictly due to his consistency. Before 2021, Ryu never posted an ERA of below 3.8, not including his 2016 where he only pitched one game. Ryu will be a top-of-the-line starter and an innings eater who might not get you the most strikeouts, but is certain to bring down your overall whip and ERA categories in head-to-head matchups. Furthermore, I like the Blue Jays offense to be able to get Ryu some run support and wins in competitive games. While this pick might be riskier than most as an older starting pitcher that pitches in a somewhat hitter-friendly ballpark in Rogers Center, I'm willing to take the risk on Ryu with only a 17th round pick and the 58th best starting pitcher overall. The next player you will most likely not see on your draft boards is Dakota Hudson, who, despite having a career ERA of 3.14, is the 124th best pitcher. This is undoubtedly due to his elbow injury last season, but even that is minor because he was able to come back later in the season and pitch. As a ground ball pitcher, an elbow injury likely doesn't affect him as much as it would a high velocity power pitcher, and I believe that you can expect little to no change in his game as he moves to have his first full season in 2 years. What also hurts his value is the fact that he won't really get you that many strikeouts compared to his innings pitched, but as a player picked in one of the later rounds, I think he provides enough value as is. Like young Jin Ryu, he's going to be an innings eater that lowers your overall ERA and WHIP categories. Furthermore, in today's league, strikeouts are relatively easy to find, assuming you draft some elite starting pitchers early, so what you really need in the later rounds are innings eaters, and Dakota Hudson is what you can get with a late 20th or 21st round pick, assuming your league goes that deep. Our last starting pitcher that I like and I'm going to talk about is Tristan Mackenzie, and it really was a tale of two seasons for him, as ever since he came to the major leagues. He posted a sparkling 3.47 ERA in 2020, and then followed that up with a poor 2021. This has caused him to be drafted in the 19th round on average, and for that low selection, I think you can take a risk on him. Most likely, he'll find a middle ground between two seasons and post an ERA around 4 with solid strikeout numbers. However, being a former top prospect, there's a chance that just everything comes together and he produces solid starting pitcher 2 numbers for just a late round pick. This claim is further supported in the fact that it usually takes 3 years for a young pitcher to get acclimated to the major leagues, and Tristan is just entering his 3rd season. Furthermore, the Cleveland Guardians pitching staff is one of the best in the league, so hopefully Tristan makes some mechanical changes as well. Overall, you get a high-risk, high-reward pitcher with a late-round pick, and even if he happens to just not produce after a couple of starts, you could easily just drop him with no further implications. Now moving on to relief pitchers, or at least what are classified as relief pitchers according to ESPN. And the first one that I like and we're going to talk about is Michael Kopech, who last year mainly pitched in long relief with some spot starts here and there. What I like here is that even though Kopech posted a great 3.5 ERA in 69 innings pitched, expected stats show that he was unlucky and he could have been more elite with an ERA hovering around 2.7. In most drafts, he won't even be drafted, and that is most likely because the White Sox are going to limit his innings, as he's never pitched a full season in the major leagues before. However, he is also entering his prime at 26 years old, and the White Sox are contending for a World Series, so they should use Kopech to his fullest capacity. If we're lucky, then Kopech will be moved to a starting rotation, and despite being listed as a relief pitcher, pitches great as a starter. We hope to see his ERA hovering around 3 with some elite strikeout numbers in Kopech. Our last player is like many of the other players on this list, in that he will not be drafted with an average 20-round draft, in Devin Williams. First of all, you should only draft this player if your saves category also includes holds as well, because most likely, Josh Hader is going to be taking all of the saves. If your league does, however, include holds, you should definitely put Williams on, as he's one of the best relievers in the game. Williams does get memed on because he broke his pitching hand breaking a door, but many people forget that he's one of the best young relievers in the game who is likely to post some elite strikeout numbers and an ERA under 3. With the contending Brewers, it's likely that Devin Williams gets a lot of hold chances and to be a solid reliever too with just a late round pick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. As I said in the introduction, I think I'm going to be doing some videos just like where I analyze all the positions like one by one, as well as like some prospects that like you should probably draft and then put in your NA slots. Also, I'm going to do some other videos where I stray away from fantasy baseball and just talk about the MLB as a whole. Like maybe some bold takes or like a playoff predictions video, even though we're in the beginning of the season. Anyways, I'm hyped for the start of the season, and I hope you guys are too. So make sure to like and subscribe so you know when everything comes out. And thank you for watching it all. I'll see you guys in the next video.